This is Korean news for May 7, 2022. Former Gyeonggi Governor Lee Jae-myung, who was a candidate for the Democratic Party's presidential election and for criminals, is said to be running for the Incheon Gyeyang district, which will be held in the local elections in June. Former Gyeonggi Governor Lee Jae-myung will also serve as the head of the permanent election for the Democratic Party's local elections and lead the national election. It is the first time in 2 months that the leader of the last presidential election will appear on the political front again. It is rare for a ruling party candidate who ran for president to make a quick comeback after losing, with the exception of former lawmaker Chung Dong-young in 2007. Former President Kim Dae-jung took responsibility for losing the presidential election and returned after a period of self-reflection away from real politics for 2 years and 6 months. President Moon Jae-in also took the presidency after returning after 26 months of reflection. However, the Democratic Party explains that the reason that former Governor Jae-myung Lee is making an early appearance in just 2 months is because of concerns that the situation in local elections is not favorable for the Democratic Party. In particular, in the case of the metropolitan area, which is the biggest winner of local elections, the Democratic Party is struggling to the extent that Seoul is inferior and Gyeonggi and Incheon are competing. However, there are strong negative voices from inside and outside the Democratic Party over the candidacy of former Governor Lee Jae-myung. It is pointed out that Lee Jae-myung ran as a bulletproof agent to prepare for police investigations such as the development corruption case in Daejang-dong, which occurred while he was in office as Songnam mayor, and the illegal use of corporate cards when he was the governor of Gyeonggi-do. In fact, if you wear the badge of a member of the National Assembly, you will not be arrested or detained without the consent of the National Assembly during the session, unless you are a current criminal. In addition, even if they are arrested or detained before the session, they can enjoy the privilege of non-arrest to be released during the session if requested by the National Assembly. For former Governor Lee Jae-myung, any legal risk could be avoided if only the 171 seats of the 171-seat mega-democratic lawmaker were required. In addition, Gyeyang-ul, Incheon, with 140,000 voters, has no regional ties with former Governor Lee Jae-myung. If former Governor Jae-myung Lee's candidacy is for the success of the local election, it is more reasonable and persuasive to appear in the Bundangap election in Songnam, Gyeonggi province, where he has his own political home and home. Actor Kang Soo-hyun is known to be unconscious for 3 days due to a brain hemorrhage. Kang Soo-hyun was found in cardiac arrest at her home in Apgujeongdong, Gangnam-gu, Seoul on the 5th and was transferred to the hospital. When she was taken to hospital, she was said to have received CPR, and tests revealed that she had a cerebral hemorrhage. Whether to have surgery or not has been decided after observing the progress. Kang Soo-hyun also showed symptoms of headache this morning. Soo-hyun Kang, who felt a headache, reported it to the ambulance and paramedics were dispatched, but it is said that she withdrew because she did not want to be taken to the hospital at the time. According to the police and fire authorities, Kang's family reported to IL-gu at around 5:14 p.m. on the same day at their home in Apgujeongdong, Gangnam-gu, Seoul, saying, Mr. Kang is complaining of extreme pain. When paramedics arrived at the scene, Mr. Kang was already lying and was found to be in cardiac arrest. If so, what was the reason that the paramedics agreed with the refusal to transfer to the hospital? Even if the patient is in an emergency situation, is there no obligation to transport the patient to the hospital if he refuses? In Korea, in many cases, whether or not to be transported by an ambulance is decided by the patient or guardian. In the case of non-emergency patients, both paramedics and patients can make decisions on an equal footing with respect to treatment. In a situation where the non-emergency patient himself/herself refuses treatment, the doctor has neither the right nor the duty to treat the patient. Since a doctor's treatment without the patient's consent is an injury under the criminal law, so is emergency treatment by paramedics. Accordingly, through the amendment of the law in 2005, the rules on the operation of rescue teams and paramedics were amended to protect paramedics from legal disputes due to refusal of limited first aid requests for non-emergency situations and refusal to transport patients, etc. When paramedics arrive at the scene, they give first aid to the patient and try to transport the patient to a medical institution. However, transport refusal may occur for various reasons. The patient himself may think that his or her disease is not serious or may not fully understand his condition due to lack of judgment. When firefighters face a patient who refuses to transport, the first thing to do is to check whether the patient's judgment ability is intact. According to the hotel industry on the 7th, most of the weekend lunch and dinner wedding schedules at major 5-star hotels in Seoul have been fully booked. The Grand Ballroom of Grand Intercontinental Seoul Parnas and Harmony Ballroom of Intercontinental Seoul COEX, operated by Parnas Hotel affiliated with GS Retail, are all booked for this weekend's wedding ceremony. The most popular time of day, Saturday lunchtime ceremonies, are mostly sold out until the first half of next year. Wedding reservations for 5-star branches such as Lottie Hotel Sineil Seoul and Lottie Hotel Seoul are also fully booked until the first half of next year, with the exception of a few schedules. A Lottie Hotel official said, there are very few reservations remaining at some time, and the deadline is close to March or April next year. The Shilla Hotel in Gyeonggi, Seoul is also fully booked for Friday and weekend weddings within the year, with the exception of a few. Shinsegae Group affiliated Chosun Hotels and Resorts 5-star hotels The Westin Chosun Seoul and Chosun Palace have also almost completed their wedding reservations for this year. Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.